let's go to some more key points that you have to know about the retirement of assets. In a usual process, in a normal day-by-day, for a FA15, day-by-day working day, the asset accounting user should be notified that there is a fixed asset approved for retirement. I don't know how familiar you are with notifications. A notification is a document that is used to help with the execution of some long processes, and especially that involve several units. For example, equipment assignment or a write-off. And it is very helpful to have a notification. Why? Because the notification can track all the actions that need to be performed and by who, and can collect all the relevant documentation related or important for this specific process. The notification improves as well the communication between the different units and avoid waiting time, because any of the roles involved in the process can go and check the notification, in which status it is, which is the next action that needs to be taken, who is going to perform this action in the system, and allows the communication inside the notification. You can send emails to the next people that will, or person that will take action on your process. So it's very, very nice and helps a lot with these long processes, like for example the write-off. So you, as asset accounting users, should be notified that you have to take action. You have to retire a fixed asset in the system. So this is the ideal situation. But for this specific issue that you have in your region, a big amount of fixed assets to be retired, I don't know exactly the guidelines you have been given or received from your pyro coordinator. If you have to create a notification, or you just have to focus in the retirement of the assets and the activation. So Robert, can you explain me a little bit what you have been asked to do exactly? Only the retirement and the activation, or you have to know how to update the notification and whatever?
If it is the FA15 rule to update the notification, that can be done. We can do the updating of the notification, because we are also part of the processing of the write-offs. One of my units is responsible to do the processing of the write-off, so we are familiar with the updating of the notification. But it's really within mind. You can. I have a couple of persons here who are a bit new, so you can go through it during the course of the training.
Perfect. So if you agree, because just for your knowledge, for the retirement of fixed assets, the guidelines that we received is that there is a need of one notification per fixed asset retired. So in your case, would be very difficult to create, I don't know how many, 100 and more, a lot of notifications. So I don't know, 1,000. So I don't know if you are expected to have a notification per fixed asset, or is it an out of the scope or a specific situation? You will have only one. I don't know this. You should clarify this with your pyro coordinator. But today, if you agree, guys, what we will do is I will tell you the steps to be taken by FA15 in the system, but we'll focus in the retirement. If we have time, I will tell you how to look for the notifications, how to update them, just for the new people that you mentioned. But let's focus first on the steps that are more urgent for you: retirement and the activation of the equipment. Do you agree with this approach?
Agreed.
Perfect. So let's move ahead. And just let me show you, because we are going to jump into the system very quickly. That is the most important thing for you. So just let me show you. Sorry. Here we are. Next slide. Just let me remove this from here. So, the retirement of the asset can happen for several reasons. As you know better than me, destruction, sale, donation, are most of the cases that you have, or because a fixed asset has been not found. So this process of retirement, it usually doesn't happen alone. It's embedded or will happen as part of a write-off, you know. So in a write-off process, the FA15 has to take action and retire the asset. So here you have a very brief summary of the write-off process for a donation of an asset. And these are in orange the steps that the FA15 or asset accounting user should perform in the system. But I wanted you to see the whole process to understand a little bit. So let's start very quickly. This asset that needs to be written off or donated is identified as part of a physical verification process or is triggered by some specific issue or event. So this is the first step. This is the step that triggers all the process. Then the disposal planner, SD09, should create a service notification for each fixed asset, what I mentioned before, one notification per fixed asset that should be written off or donated. And in this case, this is how the process starts in the system, in Umoja system. The blue steps are the steps that happen in Umoja system. Okay? Next step, the right of disposal case is submitted for approval. Okay? And the equipment notification status is updated to indicate that the case is submitted for approval. This is the update of the notification. There is an administrative process then to the point when approval is given by the authority with property management delegation. This is the approval of the right of case itself. And then there is another update in the notification to indicate that the case is approved and let's say that fixed asset is ready to be retired. Then the equipment needs to be brought into stock again, and then is where FA15 starts working. This FA15 user will receive an email or a communication that this fixed asset needs to be retired, or if not, the FA15 can check. There are several reports that if you want we can see very quickly as well. For you to know which fixed assets you have to retire periodically, this would be the normal or the day-by-day work of an FA15. Okay, I will check once a week, for example, how many fixed assets I have to retire, or I receive an email from one colleague telling me, okay, this fixed asset belonging to this specific write-off process track in this number and this notification needs to be retired. So we'll review the notifications, we'll perform the retirement. This is the key step that we are going to cover today, how to perform the retirement of the fixed asset in the system, and then we'll update the notification just telling, okay, the retirement has been done, you can continue with the process. The next unit that needs to take action on this will do it. Last step, complete the right of donation processes. How? By deactivating the equipment. That we are going to see this as well, because as you mentioned, it's not task for FA15, but you will have, some of you, the SD10 role, that is the one that performs the deactivation of the equipment. So this is more or less the overview of the write-off process or donation process. And let's focus on these three steps: the review of the notifications by FA15, the retirement, and the update of the notification again. Allow me, if you don't mind, to jump. As you can, I'm going to show you here. You have all the steps here what to do, how to find the notifications. We will cover this part at the very end of the presentation, of the session, sorry, if we have time. But let's jump directly to the retirement of the asset in the system. Let me present this slide. Okay, so now we have the fixed asset number that we have to retire. In fact, you have a very nice Excel with all this information compiled. So you have the fixed asset number that you need to retire. So the first step that you need to take in the system, I will do it right now with you guys, is to go and execute this T code, AVM. It's very easy and very quick, so don't panic, because you will do it very quickly. Once you know how to do it, it will be very quick. So let's go. You type this T code, and you have to say to the system, or to populate, to fill in the document date and posting date. Then the asset value date. This is very important. This is a very important concept. The asset value date, because it will have financial implications. So this is the date where the asset has been officially approved, when the notification or the donation process has been approved by the board in your mission, or UNHQ, sorry. So this is the date that should be as asset value date, and a text that you can type. Usually you should refer to the notification, in this case that you are having for this specific issue that you have, I don't know, some test that will help you to identify that this retirement was done for this reason, okay? Next slide, next part of this screen. Maybe I think it's better to go into the system. Is to type the transaction type, in this case is a retirement without revenue, and some reference that usually is the notification number. And that's it. You have it done in the system. It's recommendable, we recommend you to simulate the transaction before performing it in the system. And once you know, I will teach you now in the system how to understand this information. Yes, this is a finance information, but it's good that you at least understand what is happening, just if you to know if you are doing something wrong. Very quick guidelines. You will learn a little bit about finance, debits and credits. And then at the very end, once the simulation is correct, you save it in the system. It seems long, but in the system is 3 minutes. So what we are going to do is to go into the system and see it. Any doubt up to this point, guys? Any problem, any doubt? Maybe I went too fast with the explanation, but now we are going to do it all together. I think it will be better. Just let me open the system. Robert, everything clear?
Yeah, everything is clear.
Perfect. So let me log in the system.
So far, hello. So
Hello, yes. Thanks a lot, guys. And be very pay attention, because now I will do one retirement in the system myself, but then I will ask you guys to tell me what do I have to do, and we will do a couple of them all together, okay? Because I want to be very sure that you understand the process. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to log in the training environment. Of course, I don't have permissions to do this in a production, but it's exactly the same that I'm going to do here. You will have to do. So let's log in. This is the training environment. It's purple. I changed the color for you to, because maybe later I will show you some information in production. So the purple one is a training environment. Okay, so here we are. Before, guys, before performing the retirement in the system, I want to tell you few things that you have to know about fixed assets. And again, as before, if you are new with this role, you need to know how to check a fixed asset information in Umoja. Why? Because if you make a mistake, for example, doing the retirement, you can very easily identify this mistake from the asset master record. Let me show you. The T code is AS03 to check an asset master record, and we have to provide to the system an asset number. Just let me show you one of the assets that I was creating for this demonstration. For example, this one, let me 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the asset master record. This record comprises all the information related with the asset. For example, here we have an allied vehicle here. Very important information in this screen. The capitalization date is here, and the deactivation on date is blank. What does it mean? This is very important for you. That means that this asset has not been retired yet. It's active. So for these assets that you need to deactivate, for example, you could need to check if they are already deactivated or not. So you can check this with this AS03 T code just to see the information. What else is important? For example, I will go very quickly, but I think it's good that you know how to check the asset master record. For this light vehicle, was capitalized the 23rd of October 2017, and in the depreciation areas tab, you can see that the useful life is 6 years. So by now, this asset is fully depreciated. So the net book value should be 0. I'm not sure if it is because this is a training environment, but in production, be sure that in this case, this asset would be fully depreciated. Okay, so this is the information of the asset, more or less, and there is one button that will help you a lot as well. It's the asset values button. If you click here, you will find the financial information related to this asset. I'm not going to explain you everything because this is not the scope of this session, but I just want you to know that there is a window called transactions here that will show you all the actions that happened or were tracked in Umoja system for this fixed asset. If you remember, the capitalization date for this asset was in 2017. Let's move the fiscal year to 2017. You see? So what do we have here? What happened to this asset apart from being depreciated and any other things that happens automatically? But this asset was acquired in 2017. So we have a transaction here that will explain you, give you more information about how, for example, this asset was acquired. So it was a transfer, cross volume, budget relevant. So this is how this asset came into our mission, let's say, or into our system. So this is something that you have to know. So what else? If this asset would have been retired, you could find here a line telling that it has been already retired. Let me show you for a different one, AS03, that I retired yesterday. You see, this is our asset. I retired it yesterday. You can see here, first thing you can see, the activation on date is populated. So it was retired. I retired yesterday, but the date that I put here was the date when the write-off or the donation document was approved. That's why it was deactivated the day of the approval, let's say, for financial purposes. So we have a deactivation on date. All the assets that you will retire will get this date populated. And if you go to asset values, again, this asset was acquired in 2017, acquisition. Nothing happened in 2018, but in 2019, look at what we have here. This asset has been retired. Donation retirement of PY acquisition. You see, you have here the confirmation that this asset has been properly retired. So I just wanted to explain you this because it can be helpful for you. For example, imagine that you are doing this in a batch, and suddenly somebody comes and interrupt you, and you say, "Oh my God, I don't know if I really finish the retirement of this asset." So just go with AS03 and check. You should have a retirement date. With this button, we can go back to this previous screen, the activation on date, and then you should find the transaction properly posted in the system. Okay? So this is just useful tips for you. And now let's go hands-on to what you have to do. This is your wonderful list of a lot of assets to retire, and with many information. The information that you need here basically is this asset column and equipment column. Sorry, I forgot to mention something that can be interesting for you. Sorry, let me go back. You know that usually an asset is linked to a equipment number. How to check this, the equipment number for this fixed asset? You have a tab here that is called allocation tab. Yeah, here it is. Here, allocation tab. Okay. But in this case, there is not properly populated because we don't, this is a training environment, and this fixed asset is not linked to any equipment. But usually here, you should find the equipment number linked to this fixed asset. Okay, just in case you need it. But for your purpose of this list, you don't need it because you have this list. Let me highlight both columns. You have the equipment number that we will deactivate later on, and the fixed asset linked to this equipment. Okay? So here we are. So what do we have to do? We will take the asset number. Imagine that you are going to deactivate. Let me make the list a little bit bigger. You are going to deactivate this, to retire this fixed asset. So you would take this asset number and would come to this Umoja system, but now with the T code AVAVN. Just let me execute it. We are going to perform the retirement. Okay, I will go maybe a little slower because the mouse is going too fast. Okay, guys, are you okay with the speed of this? Because maybe the system is. Can you check the screen, see the screen properly on the steps that I'm doing?
So far, so good.
Perfect. Just to recap where we are. I have shown you in the system how to check an asset master record, because maybe you will need to check if one specific asset was already deactivated or not, how to check this in the asset master record. And now we are going to retire a fixed asset. So you would come to your list, take the fixed asset number, and then come to the system. The code for the retirement of assets without revenue is AVAVN. Just let me display it here as well. Transaction, yeah. So AVAVN, now you should have the T code here. Can you see the screen properly? Here we have it. I made the little bigger for you to see it properly. Okay, so here we are. This is the asset that I want to retire. I have to type it here. In this case, in the training environment, I'm going to do this for this fixed asset. I want to retire this one. So the system will populate this information. This is a light vehicle for the Explorer. Okay. Document date. Here you are going to type usually today's date. Today's, let's say, is 11th of July 2019. And click enter. Asset value date. As I explained before, this date is the actual date of retirement of the asset, the approval date of this retirement. So in this case, let's say that it was approved. We are performing the action today, but this was approved or decided the 20th of June, let's say, 20th of June, 2019. Okay, so that's it. Text. In this case, we are going to type retirement of asset as for pyro whatever. You can put here the reason, and that's the information that needs to be populated in the transaction data tab. First, you type your asset number, then document date, then asset value date, and a text, brief explanation of why or this asset is being retired. Okay, first screen. Next screen, additional details, the text tab. In this screen, you just have to select the transaction type. This transaction type I will tell you now the ones that you have to use, but if you have any doubt or you don't remember, I'm going to send you a Jobate, this one, I think, yeah. Let me show you guys this Jobate. In this Jobate, you have all the steps to do the retirement with and without revenue, and at the very end, you have an annex with the transaction type that you have to select for the retirement of your assets. In this case, it's a retirement without revenue. What we are doing, this is the code that we are executing in the system. And here you have, in the case of donation, is set 20 or set 25. Okay? So let's go into the system again and check. Let's check what is each one of them, set 20 and set 25. Let me scroll down. Set 20, donation, retirement of previous year acquisition. Set 25, donation, retirement of its asset that was acquired in current year. In this case, we checked before that we know that this asset was acquired in 2017, so the type that I have to select is the set 20, donation retirement of previous year acquisition. Okay, I think your case is the same. All of the assets that you have to retire were acquired in previous years. Am I right, Robert?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So just take into consideration that if by any chance any of the assets was acquired in 2019, you should select here set 25 instead of set 20. Okay. And if you forget these things, you can always go and check the Jobate. I will send it to you with all this, the information of this WebEx. Okay. So here we are. So this is what we are going to do: retire an asset that was acquired in a previous year, and the reference here. Reference, again, you should refer to this. In a normal case, to the notification, whatever, or in this case, to the PYRO action for whatever, PYRO, whatever, okay? So, we have the second tab properly populated, only these two things, these two transaction type and reference. And let's go to partial retirement tab. Don't worry about the information that you are asked here, amount posted, whatever. Forget about. You are not finance, you don't have to know these things. You just have to select here if this was a prior year acquisition and or current year acquisition. It is already selected here, but you have to ensure that this is correct as well. So in this case, in my case of the asset I'm retiring, it was acquired in 2017, so prior year acquisition. So that's it. That's all the information that you need to type in the system. You have here a note tab where you can write whatever you need. If you need, again, pyro action due to whatever, explain here everything. You have this note because these texts that you have here in the text or in the additional details are restricted. So you cannot write everything you want. Maybe you need to add more notes or more explanations to this retirement, so you can come and type it here in the note tab. So once we have all this information, transaction data, additional details, and properly selected if it's a prior year or current year acquisition, we are going to simulate the transaction. And in all the trainings, I'm telling the same. If in any transaction in Umoja system you have a simulation button, use it, because it will warn you if there is something wrong before posting anything in the system. So it's a good practice to check the simulation button. So here, let's simulate. So what is going to happen? This is the financial, let's say, document that will be generated in the system. You don't have to understand, but I'm going to explain you because it's good that you will know that. Okay? What do we have here? Here we have the acquisition value of this asset. This asset was acquired with this value. Okay, and this value is going to be credited. This is maybe too deep, but just for you to understand. This value that we have here is the depreciation value that this asset has been suffering from the date when it was acquired in 2017 up to the date that we are going to retire it. That is the date when the write-off or the donation document was approved. So this is the accumulated depreciation that is credited in this fixed asset account. And this is the official loss that we will track in the system in our expenses account, because this fixed asset, the difference between the acquisition value and the value that has been depreciated is the official loss that is going to be tracked as expenses in our system. So you don't need to understand more, just to check that you have these three lines: acquisition value, depreciation, and net book value of this asset, that is the loss that is going to be tracked in the system. That's it. So it looks quite good. We are going to post this document. So let's post it. How? By saving it. Okay? So let's save it. And here you have a message from the system, asset transaction posted with document number, whatever. It could be interesting for you to write down this financial document number, just in case there are, because I'm sure that afterwards you will have to do some financial check, not you, the finance section, so you can tell them or whatever this document's number that you have generated. So here you have the number, the 41, whatever. So we have done this retirement. Okay, now, as I mentioned before, imagine that I am not sure that I posted, I changed the screen, I go for a coffee, and now I came back and I said, oh my God, did I finish the retirement? I don't know. I will check. AS03. Let's type here the asset number that I was retiring. Here it is. And here we have it. Yes, it has been deactivated as of date 20th of June 2018, when the write-off or donation document was approved. And what else I can check? I can check if in 2019 I have a donation retirement document linked to this fixed asset. Here it is. You see? This is the document, and these are the values that we were talking about. Just let me open the document. If you open it, This is the same information that you check when you simulated the retirement, the acquisition value, the depreciation, and the net book value of this asset as of the date when it is retired. Okay, so this is the process of retirement. As you can see, it's very easy. It's only one T code with a screen with 3 tabs that you have to properly populate. Now, do you have any question? Is it clear for you what I did in the system?
It's clear, but the screen reaction is a bit slower. So you speak faster than the screen comes up.
Okay. So what we are going to do now, guys, if you agree, we are going to do it all together and slower. So
okay,
let's take a different. Let's imagine that we are going to retire now another fixed asset from this list that you have. This one. We will take a different one in the training environment. Okay. So what is the first step? What is the T code that I have to execute in the system? I want you to tell me. I will do what you will tell me.
ABAVN.
First you have to check.
Very good. I think this is very good. First, it would be very good practice to check if it has been retired or not. But in this case, that you have this list have been given to you, I guess. So I think you can trust the list, because you have many fixed assets to retire. So if you check one by one, maybe you will lose time. So I think we can rely on this information and go straight to the point to retire one by one. But in day-by-day work, when you will be more relaxed and after this situation that you are facing now, this would be the exact answer. We should go with AS03 and check if this asset has been already retired, how it is, if it is properly depreciated or not, just to have a clue of what is going to happen in the system when we will retire it. Okay? So let's go straight to the AVN. So here we have it, AVN. And I'm going to let you know, document date. What should we type here? Which date?
The screen is not yet here.
Okay. So I will wait for you guys. Sorry for this because there is a delay.
Okay, now we have the screen.
Yeah. Document date. What do we have to type?
The date of today's date.
Very good. Date of approval or today's date?
Yes.
Date. Because it's the date when we are creating this document. That's it, creating. It will not be posted with this date or whatever. The document of the date of the document. So let's say today. And now it comes asset value date. What's this date? Which one should we type?
The date
Case approval.
Very good.
the date was approved.
Very good. The official retirement date for financial purposes, you know, that this asset will stop depreciating at this date. So it's important. Financially, we will have one thing or another depending on this specific date. So here we will put the date of approval. Let's assume that is, in this case, 1st of June, let's say, 2019. Okay? And now what else? What should we type?
We type the information as to what are we doing and notification number.
Very good. Notification, whatever, or pyro action, whatever, you know. Something here for you to know why you retire this asset. Okay? So, this tab, I think it's done. What now? Where should we go now? Which tab?
Go to additional details.
Perfect. Additional details. And here, remember, you have to, I will not tell you what, but you have only to type 2 things in this screen. Which one first?
Transaction.
Very good. Transaction type. And which is the one? If you don't remember, open the list. Very good. Retirement of previous year. Remember, because this asset was acquired prior to 2019, that is current year. So it's previous year. And what else should we type here? And this is very similar. This is for reporting purposes. I don't know if I mentioned before. This reference field, it's important that you type, because then when you report, you can filter by these things, and you will find out easily the information that you are looking for. So it's very similar. For example, notification, whatever, or approval document, whatever. So something that will help you to identify the transaction. So here we are, additional details tab is populated. What to do next?
Go to partial retirement.
Good. Do I have to post any amount here?
No.
So what to do here?
Only check the prior year is selected already, so we do nothing.
Perfect, perfect. Oh my God. Very good students. I'm so happy. Very good. So prior year is already tick. This is correct. So what I will do is to simulate. Okay. Yes. Value date not allowed. Okay. So this is troubleshooting. Posting transaction is not possible. Value date is not allowed. Let me go to the transaction data. 1st of June 2000. Okay, because maybe it's the training environment, and this is a different period. So let me type here. This is. I have to tell you that in production, this will not happen to you, but the asset value date has to be in this same year. If it was approved before, maybe the system will not allow you to type a date, so you should contact your finance section to clarify, which is, I think you should type 1st of January, because for assets accounting, let's say the accounting year is the fiscal year. Asset accounting goes from 1st of January up to 31st of December. So if it is, it was approved in a prior year, maybe the system will not allow you to put here a different year. Then you should agree with your finance section just to, for example, 1st of January, okay? But in this case, the training environment didn't allow me even to type June 2019. So let me type July, but this is due to the training, and maybe there are some periods close. So let's simulate now. Wow. Okay, now it's clear. It's the format of the date. So okay, what happened? It has been already, you see, it has been already deactivated, okay? So this is good, because if you, by chance, try to deactivate an asset that has been already deactivated, the system will let you know. It's very strange, because I checked yesterday and was not deactivated, but we can do a new one. Let me take a new one. So this is already deactivated. Anyway, how to be sure that it's already deactivated, guys? Which ticket should I use to check that is already deactivated?
AS03.
Very good, very good. So let's go. This is a real case. It could happen to you, troubleshooting. So by default, when you type AS03, the system displays here the last fixed asset that you have been dealing with. So this is already populated. Here it is, 20th of June, 95. I don't know. Maybe I did it before. Yeah, sorry. This is the one that I use in the demonstration. Sorry. So let's go again. So it's already deactivated, of course. So let's go again with AVAVN and deactivate a new one. In this case, let me, the 99. You will type it here, and be careful when you will update it. The system will change all the information related to the asset. So again, are you in this screen now, in the AVAVN?
Yes.
Pues again, the same thing. Document date, today's date. Very good. Asset value date, let's say 1st of July 2019, the date when the retirement was officially approved. And text, let me take one of the ones that I wrote before, this one. First tab, transaction data is fully populated. Second tab, additional details, transaction type. If we have doubts, we will look for it. Set 20, donation retirement of prior year acquisition, and a reference, whatever, here, okay? And partial retirement, nothing to touch but prior year acquisition or current year acquisition. In this case, is prior year, so we are good. Let's simulate the process. Let's simulate the process. Here we are. Are you in this screen of the simulation?
Not yet.
Okay, so just for you to, again, have an idea of what you should check.
We are there.
Are you there already?
Yes.
Okay, so this biggest amount, what is this amount? The biggest one.
Acquisition value.
Perfect, the acquisition value that is credited, very good, to this account. Then we have a smaller value that in this case is what?
Depreciated value.
Very good. The accumulated depreciation for this fixed asset, and then this is debited to this fixed asset depreciation account, and then we have the difference that is
The loss.
the loss, the current net book value as of retirement date. This is the value that is going to be lost and tracked in an expenses account for fixed asset, whatever. So it looks wonderful. What do we have to do now before finishing? This is very important. It's the last step.
We have to post it.
Post it, and how?
Saving.
Very good, by saving. Don't forget this because it happens to me sometimes. Okay, simulation is perfect, it's done. It's not done yet. And it's not done up to the moment when you get this message at the bottom of the screen. Asset transaction posted with document number, whatever. So at this stage, the retirement has been properly done. So what do you think about the retirement? You see it's very quick, especially if you have all the information ready as you do. You have this list here with the asset numbers. You have you are aware that they are in the proper status to be retired and deactivated. This is very important because before retiring an asset, the equipment record related to this asset has to be in a proper status. That means that the full process of writing off has been done properly. But in this case, you told us that they are in the proper status, so you don't have to be worried about and start retiring assets, okay? So this is the first thing that you have to do. What is the second thing that you need to do for this specific situation? You ask about the deactivation of the equipment, if I am not wrong. Is it correct, Robert? Yeah. So I'm going to teach you because you should be given the SD10 role before doing these deactivations. So once you are given this role, we are going to deactivate equipment. How to deactivate equipment? So you should come to this list, and as I mentioned before, you have two columns. Let me move this one. I don't know if I can. Just let me put them together. So this is your asset and equipment number that they are related. Let me put it here for you to see it better. Okay, so here we have the assets and the equipment. Okay, so this asset, I have already deactivated this, retired this asset. I always mix these words. I have retired the asset, so I have to deactivate the equipment record in the system. How to do that? So let's go into the system and do it. First of all, we should take this equipment number. Again, in the training environment, I am not going to use this number because this equipment is not existing in the training environment, but this is what you should do. I will take one fake one. T code to deactivate equipment. This T code is IE02. Okay, IE02. All these things, you have it in the job aid and in the documentation. Anyway, it's good because it's only one T code. If you want to write it down, the T code to deactivate an equipment record is IE02. Okay? So let's execute it in Moja, and the system is asking us for an equipment number. In this case, you should type the one that you copied from the Excel. In my case, just let me take one that I prepared for this demonstration. This one, 100 00 28 387. Okay, for example, and press enter. So here we are. What do we have here? Can you see my screen, the change equipment screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the other side of the asset record, but for the equipment. Is the equipment record that is tracking all the information related with the equipment. So here we have the information of this equipment. This is a vehicle. Here we have a little bit more information related to the property management unit, vehicle unit, more specific information. User status and system status. Let me show you my mouse. This is the system status and the user status. And this equipment is going to be deactivated. As it is now, we can know that it's not deactivated because we have everything opened. We are going to amend it, and we can type in. You see, it's editable. So this equipment is not deactivated yet, and the status is not deactivated. You will see what will happen when I will deactivate it. So this is the current status. What do we have to do to deactivate it? First of all, we should check in the user status here that this is correct what is selected. In this case, it's a donation disposal method. So, okay. So it's already this status. Then it's ready to be deactivated. Okay. The list that you provided, all of them are already ready to be deactivated, so you don't have to worry about if they are in the right status, because with some reports you can check all this information. So the status is correct, so it's a donation disposal method. Okay, so let's go back and let's go with the deactivation. How to deactivate it? Equipment, before deactivating, yes, always important. You can always, in this description, add notes. For example, again, as before I mentioned, you need to add proper explanation of why this equipment is deactivated. I don't know if you followed where I click. I'm going back again. Next to the description of the equipment, do you have this screen already? Refresh.
Yeah, we can see that list. Yeah, we have the screen of the.
description, you see, but next to this description, you have a note here. In create text internal note. If you need to add some information of, if you need, maybe not, but you have this option, for example, as per Pyro, whatever, and donation, so you deactivate, okay? XYZ, whatever. So you have more information. You go back. You have already, if you, just let me wait a little bit for the screen to refresh. Let me go back to the internal notes, and you will should see what you typed as per Pyro donation, whatever. So you perform this equipment deactivation. So now it's done. The equipment is in the right status to be deactivated. We have properly documented the record, the equipment record, telling that this is going to be deactivated because of this, because of those. So we can proceed with the deactivation. So how to deactivate? Equipment, here in the upper menu, equipment. Just let me go again. Equipment. Functions, active, inactive. I will leave the screen like that for you to see it, because I know it's refreshing a little bit slowly. Is it okay up to this point, guys, how to deactivate an equipment record? We checked the status, that is the correct one, and we add a note, just explaining why we are doing that. And now, can you see the screen now? Equipment function active, inactive?
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. Equipment function active, inactive, deactivate. So just let's click on deactivate, and the system will warn you, will ask you, are you sure that you want to deactivate this equipment? So the answer is yes. Let's click on yes. And you see, the system changed the system status. This remains open. I didn't know that, but this is the most important thing. The status remains or change, sorry, to inactive. You see there, esto inactive. So you have properly deactivated the equipment. Is this clear? This process is very quick as well. Let's do one of them all together now, again, as we did before. Sorry. Again, we have to save. You see, I was going to go out without saving. We have to save. Let's save. Yeah. And now we have the notification. Equipment has been changed. Be very aware of this. In both transactions, in the retirement and in the deactivation, you need to save for the system to perform the final deactivation or retirement, okay? So let's go to deactivate another one. Let's go to our Excel and we say, okay, this one has been deactivated as well. This one was retired yesterday and I have to deactivate its equipment record linked to it. So what should we do in the system, guys? What should I do now to deactivate this one? Which ticket should I type?
IE02.
IE. What is the IE? Okay, 02. Very good. Here we are, and here I should type the one that I copied, but in my case, I'm going to choose another one. Yeah, for example, 100283888. Okay. Here we have our equipment record. It's another vehicle with all their characteristics. What should I check before deactivating?
You check the user status and the
Very
system
good.
status.
The user. Very good. It's not deactivated yet, and the user status is we know that is a good one. If you don't remember, you can check that this one is donation disposal method, so it's perfect, it's correct. So it's ready to be deactivated. So let's proceed with the deactivation. What to do now?
You go
to tell me. Very good. First of all, remember, if you want to add any comment, you can do it by this internal notes button, but it's not compulsory. You can do it or not. And if this case that maybe you have many things to do very quickly, is not the best idea. So, equipment, functions,
active or
active, inactive,
deactivated.
perfect. Deactive, very good, students. Click yes. So, what to check now?
The system will change to stop and save it.
Very good. The system status has changed to inactive now. And very good point, save it. And then we have that this equipment has been changed. So, I hope, guys, that with these two transactions that we have covered, you can perform all the activations and retirements that you have to do. But I'm going to tell you now very quickly, because this can be very useful. There is a way in Moja system to deactivate multiple equipment in one shot. The retirement cannot be done in one. Sorry? Can you ask again? Sorry. No, the retirement cannot be done in one shot. So you should go through your list. I don't know how you will do that. If you will share these numbers, I don't know. But this asset, the retirement should be done one by one. But the activation of assets, of the equipment can be done in one shot. Let me show you how to do that, because it's very useful. Because you will do it only once. If you don't have to attach any, attach or type any comment or relevant information, you can just deactivate in one shot. Let's do it, and depending on the cases, you can decide how to do that. Imagine that for some of them you need to add something, so this one should be done one by one. But for a big amount of them, you don't need to type anything, and you are sure that they are in the right status, that you have them here. Let me here in green. Here you see you have the different user status, and as you can see, they are proper ones. You have, just let me check, AQDA, that is disposal, or no, sorry, donation, AQDA, AQDN, that is the donation, the scrapping, so all of them are ready to be deactivated, you see? So you can take a shot and do it in the system. Let's go and do it. Let me open the Moja again and come out from this screen. So we have a T code for this deactivation, multiple deactivation, that is exactly as before, IE, but in this case is 05. IE 05. Okay? Let's execute the T code. And here you can select the equipment that you want to, the equipment numbers that you want. So you type from, for example, I'm going to do this, from this one to this one, the system will take all that are in the middle. So if you do that, you should be sure that these numbers are consecutive. Usually is not the case, so don't do it like that. Just let me come again. How to select several equipment numbers by clicking. Just let me go out from, because I want to see you to see it. This arrow, multiple selection. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
this multiple selection arrow?
We can see.
So, perfect. So click here. Directly, don't type anything here. Just go straight forward to multiple selection, and you can copy from the Excel. For example, I'm going to imagine that you have already done this batch of retirement, so the equipment need to be deactivated. So I will copy this equipment numbers, come to Umoja. I will put my mouse in the first row where single value is written.
Now we are there.
Control and paste it. So you see, I have all the equipment that I want to deactivate copied. Just copy and paste from the Excel. You can do it like that. Is this part clear? Are you familiar with this? This is something that, it's a feature that is in Umoja system, and it can be used in several actions or in several transactions. So it's very good that you know how to do that, because you will avoid a lot of work. So I have copied here. Do you need me to explain again how I did it, or is clear for you guys?
It's clear.
Perfect. So you just click here, okay? You would be ready to deactivate this equipment. Be careful, because if you can see my screen now, you can see here one equipment number, the first one in the list. And this is not correct, because we selected more than one. So if you want to be sure that you put all of them, click again on the multiple selection arrow. Okay, here we have all our equipment. In my case, I'm going to delete them, because I copied this from your Excel, but I'm going to show you with two that are available in the training environment, that are these two, 10, 70, 65, and 10, 70, 66. So I'm going to deactivate in batch these two equipment records. Here we are. So what to do next? Can you see my screen? I have selected the equipment, or the set of equipment that I want to deactivate. So let's execute this. Here we are. The system is, I will wait just for your screens to be refreshed.
It's refreshed.
Okay, so we have here the list of equipment that we type. This Peugeot whatever, this Mercedes whatever, I'm going to deactivate. So first thing to do, I'm going to select all. You have here this button, select all, you see it? And maybe in this screen, you would realize, if you realize that the user status for some of them is not correct, you will see it here. You can select partially. You can select this. We have only two, but you can select with the shift or the control, button, some of them. Usually, what should happen is that all of them are ready to be deactivated, so you click on select all, and the system will select the 20, the 100 that you will have here. And now, once you have all of them selected, you go to Functions, Active, Inactive, and Deactivate. I will leave the screen. Can you see this? This go to Function, Active, Inactive, Deactivate. Yeah. So you now can click. Okay, in this case, I don't know why. Maybe because of in the training environment something is missing. But you see, if you have any issue with the equipment that you want to deactivate, the system will tell you. Imagine in this case, I got 100% issues, but maybe you have 100 to deactivate, and you have problem in two of them. The system will warn you. These two equipments cannot be deactivated because this or those or whatever, this or those or whatever. So you will be sure that you are just only deactivated that ones that are ready to be deactivated. So once you get this, you would accept, and that would be it. The process of the, I don't know why they are not, maybe some flag is not properly done in the training environment, but this is the way of deactivating in a batch. I hope it will be useful for you guys. What do you think?
Very useful.
Really? Yes, because you have to do many things. So, Robert, because we have some time missing, just let me, that's all from the system perspective that I wanted to explain to you guys. Just let me show you what I prepared for you. I'm going to send you this, this presentation. You have all the steps that you would need to do with the notification. Just let me show you. Here it is. In the notification, just in case, I don't know exactly the guidelines that you received, but this is what you should do with the notification, all the steps you see, what is the information that you have to type, everything. You see, this is the steps that are missing. So you have everything properly tracked here. Then this is what we saw in the system. You see how to get the fixed assets number that you are ready to retire, but in this case you have your list, so no problem. Then we have the steps that we perform in the system that you very well know how to do it with AVN. So these 3 slides, and then the steps on how to update the notification once the retirement has been performed. As I mentioned, you should clarify with them, but I think in this situation that you are now, you will only have to retire them and deactivate. It will be straightforward. What else I wanted to tell you guys related to this process? Yeah. Let me show you these slides. Yeah. This already, we saw it already. That once the retirement has been properly done, it needs to be deactivated and the notification closed. So you know how to do that. Just to mention, you guys, for the cases, that, let me check this email that you sent, that you have a sale that are 101 fixed assets that were written off and sold in 2017, 2018, there is a different T code to be used in the system, but it's very important that you understand that if this asset is sold within the same fiscal year as the approval of the write-off, you have to use this new T code, AVA on. But this is not your case. Your case is that these fixed assets were sold in 2017 or 2018. Then you have to deactivate them exactly as we did here with AVN. Okay? And then you should agree with your finance unit how to type these dates, because let's say it's a kind of workaround. They used to retire these assets that has not been sold and retired in the same fiscal year. Okay, so forget about the new T code and this 101 fixed assets that you sold in 2017 and 18. You have to perform with AVN. Is this part clear?
That's clear.
Okay. Be careful, because if by any chance any of them was sold and approved, the right of approve in the same year, in this 2019, you should use a new T code. And in this, I wanted to show you, but we don't have time. Anyway, guys, if you think you need more sessions, we can try to schedule something more for you related to the notification, related to the retirement of the asset with sale, we can cover a new session. But just let me show you the job aid. You have this job aid where the annex for the different transaction types was taken. Here, if you can see this job aid, you have here all the steps very well explained. How to retire without revenue and with revenue, okay? So if we go here, just for you to see, you have all the instructions to do this with sale, with the ticket AVAON. It's a different one, but only in the case, as I mentioned, that the approval of the write-off or retirement and the effective retirement happens in the same year. In this case, 2019, that is not your case. Okay? So, the sold. So this is here, you can check everything here, how to do this. Just let me go to the AVA on ticket, because I want you to see it in the system as well. Here it is. So how Avaon works, just in case you have to use it in the future, is exactly the same as the AVAVN, but you type, you see, the document date, the asset value date, but you see, you have extra information. You have to add the manual revenue that came from the sales order. Okay? That's the only difference with AVM, because in this case, we have a sales order in place. Okay? So you should type the manual revenue, that is the amount of the sales order, and then exactly the same transaction type and reference. The transaction type is a different one, because if we go to the annex, when it's retirement with revenue, you have to change. You see, this is the transaction type, 2010, for a current year or for previous and current. I don't exactly don't recall that, but you have to type the transaction type. Just let me go back, and that's it, and simulate. It's exactly the same process, but you have to tell the system what was the sales amount, the amount of this sale. And I think that's it. But as I told you before, for these cases that were sold in 2017, 2018, you need to do this with AVAVN as we do with the non-revenue ones. Then finance, when the sales orders will be processed or whatever, they will track this revenue in the revenue account, and they will handle this revenue. But from your perspective, you just have to do it with AVAVN. Okay? Just the last thing I want to mention to you guys. In this case, when there is a donation in the system, in a normal scenario, before donation retirement, before deactivating the equipment should be brought to stock, and a sales order with zero revenue should be involved in this process. As I mentioned, this is a very specific and delicate situation that you have in the mission, so I don't know exactly how they did it, but in the day-by-day work that you will have to do that, a donation of fixed asset concrete, you have to follow this process, and in the process will be a sales order with zero revenue that will not affect to your work. You will only have to go to the notification, retire the asset, and finally update the notification telling that the retirement has been done. But in the whole process, the whole frame, there will be a sales order with zero revenue, and if there are in this process any handling costs involved, they will appear in this fake, let's say, sales order, because it's a donation, no sale happened. But for tracking financially purposes, for financial purposes, it has to appear like that, with a sales order with zero revenue. It's just for you to know about it, even if it will not impact your work as FA15, but just for you to know that this will happen in this way. So from my side, I think everything is clear, but I'm very interested about your opinion. What do you think, guys? Do you think you can handle this situation with these T-codes that I explained to you?
We'll be able to handle it once we start practicing. If there are any issues, we shall revert to you.
Of course, again, don't hesitate. If you think, for example, now you are told that you have to update a notification, you don't know how to do that, you don't recall well what we covered, you need more explanation, just let us know, and we will be very happy, very happy to do a new session and assist you. And in fact, I was planning today that you still don't have the roles. If you have any concrete problem when you are doing the retirement, for example, in real, when you will have the role, we can create a WebEx. You can share your screens, and we can guide you from here. Okay, this is happening because of this, because of that, in this way. So don't panic, because you have a big amount of work to be done, but we can give you a hand from here. Okay?
I have one question.
Okay, just tell me.
Yeah. If the write-off process is completed and approved, do we need, after approval, do we need to dispose of the item before we can retire the asset?
Dispose? What do you mean with dispose? I don't get the question.
You know, we have the write-off process. When it is approved by the appropriate authority, that is when the disposal process takes place.
Yeah.
So, at that time that it has been approved, can we go ahead to retire the asset whilst waiting for the disposal process to take place?
Yeah, the system will allow you to retire the asset. The problem will be the activation of the equipment.
Yeah,
the assets can be retired from the system perspective, but it's important that you will follow the steps. You have it here. So it will appear after when you say after the approval, so you can proceed with the retirement. But before doing the deactivation of this asset, of this equipment, all the status of the equipment needs to be properly settled. So it's important that this step happen in the right place. Okay, for you as FA15, yes, it can be done with the proper dates. There will be a document. Financial document telling that this asset has been retired, but it's always in a normal case, it's important that you will follow the steps in the right order. In fact, if you have 2 more minutes, I wanted to show you guys, because as you mentioned before, Robert, very, very good point, you already dealt with notifications for different processes. And I was checking, just let me log in Umoja Production, because I was checking your notifications from your mission, and they are quite good. You follow very well the steps. Log in. And there you will see, Robert, the right order in which the things needs to be done. From the system perspective, some actions can be performed even if you don't wait for the steps or for your, to be done in this order. But it's recommendable, it's a good practice to wait when everything is done, you perform your part. Just let me show you. For example, I took one notification that was created in your mission, and it's quite good, really, because the notification at the very beginning is difficult to use because there are many steps, many things to be done. But once you get used to them, they are really, really helpful. So just let me. Here we are. This is production. And let me open the one where it is. Here it is. With IW59, for example, I can check this one that I took from your mission. That is 1450. And let's change the, I think that's it. Let me, here we have it. You see? This is a notification created for, I don't know, this is a write-off, you see? And here in the task tab, you have all the tasks that need to be performed, who is going to perform each action. So what as per your question, that you see the activation, here is written the activation of the asset should be retirement, but this action should happen at this point. But the system will allow you to do that once you have the official approval date of the write-off or the donation or any other kind of retirement, you know, scrap, sales, whatever. So just for you to see that you already have very good examples in your mission of notifications created, and just let me scroll, because once an action is completed, you see, it is with the flag here, it's completed. You see who did what, and the next step to be taken, and who is going to take this step. So it will help you a lot once you will finish this issue that you have in your day-by-day job, to follow these actions in the notification. Okay? But as your question, Robert, the answer is yes. The system will allow you to retire the asset as soon as you have the official retirement date, that is the date of the approval of the retirement. Okay?
Okay.
So any other question, guys?
Any other question? Yeah, that's all. I think for now there is no further question. Everything is clear to us. We're going to as soon as I have the SA15 role, and the others have been requested. It has been sent to New York, and I believe that by next week we should all have the rules and then start practicing.
But do you have the role? But you are now in a different room, because if you want, we have time. I don't know if you have time, but you could try to do one of these retirements there, and to check if everything is okay and clear, or you can do it by your own and let me know, or let us know if you have further problems to do that, as you prefer.
Okay, we can.
Are you sitting in your?
Yeah, what happened was that for the items that I sent to you, I used the desk review. I just checked the status and compared the two. I have not checked the equipment record to find out that, or the notification to find out that all documents have been uploaded, especially the handover document, which has to be uploaded by the PDU. So, yeah, even though the list I sent to you, everything has been done, I have to check the notification to confirm that everything has been recorded. We can do the retirement, but we will not like to do the deactivation of the equipment. If that's the case.
And Robert, just let me because I am explaining you things from the perspective of ideal situation, maybe, and due to the urgency to clean up these things, these assets that you have, you can proceed with the retirement of these assets already, but I don't know, I cannot tell you that. I think that the best thing is that you should contact your pyro coordinator in the mission, maybe for financial purposes they need to have the retirements done. So just you should agree with them. Now that you know how to do it, if you should start already retiring assets, or you have to wait for a notification, or you can but agree with them, because maybe you have to do it not following the right steps or this order, but this is better that you agree with them on how to proceed. Okay, because maybe they need this to be done because they are accounting. I don't know exactly what is the situation, so just discuss with them. But now the good thing is that you know how to do it. So as far as you have the green light to start deactivating and retiring, you can do it. Okay?
Okay.
So maybe it's better you try, and if you have, that's when you will have the rules, just let us know. And I think that's it, because I don't know if you are sitting in your desk. Robert, are you sitting in your desk?
Yeah, we are all in my desk.
Okay, so if you want to try with one retirement, and you can share your screen and I can see what you do, or if you prefer to do it a different day, or you are not sure, you can do it by your own and let us know how it works. Okay? What do you prefer?
We can do one. We can share the screen with you.
Perfect. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing, and I will give you the floor for you to share your screen. Let me here change role to presenter. So now you have the presenter role. So now you should in the Robert, in the how it's edit share, in the menu of the WebEx, you have in the top menu share. You can share your screen or your desktop.
Which one is the menu? The file?
I think it's because I don't have the same view as you have, David. Can you confirm? Yeah, because I don't have the same view, because I'm the host.
Do you need something?
Just to share the desktop from your perspective as an attendee, where is the link? It's in the menu, share file, edit share. Is there the share?
Yeah. They can go to the top menu. They can go to the top menu and click on share.
And then, very good.
My
and then you will have my desktop or my screen, something like that. Yeah. Thanks a lot, David.
It's not activated.
It's not activated. Just let me, because
it's JSH is the presenter, no? So maybe you have to give presenter role to Robert Paulson.
Host. Ah, sorry, Robert, because I thought you were. I didn't see only GSH. Yeah, sorry, it's my fault. I saw this one because I have a very small window. Change role to Robert. Now you are the presenter. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you should have this share available. No, perfect. Now I can see your screen.
You can see my screen.
Wow, you are already there. Super quick. Very good. So this is a real asset that you need to retire, I guess. Very good. So let's see. Let's see how you do that, and you will see that it's very quick and very straightforward.
Yes, I want to get one asset. Let me start again.
Very good. Yeah, you can say, you can click yes if you, because you didn't perform anything. Very good.
we start with ABA.
BN, very good. And there, you see, it's appearing the last one that you type, so you have to be aware that you have there the one that you want to retire.
Okay.
Very good. And now press enter because the description probably will change. No, it's already changed. Very good. This for general. Perfect. Very good. Document date.
Approval date. No, the approval date. It is the approval date was in June. I don't have a document to get the exact approval date. So can I just put a date in June?
I am not sure. David, are you there? If they don't
Yes,
have
I'm
the
here,
exact, yes, what do you think? Because if they don't have the exact date, because this has a financial impact, especially because the depreciation is, if it is in June, and I think if they take 1st of June, it will not have any impact.
But that is normally something. That is normally something that they have to check because the write-off has been approved, right? So they have to put that is the one for the date of the approval, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have the date of the approval, but we don't have a document with that yet.
So then you cannot retire,
exactly.
no?
They
Yeah,
know
so
that
exact
in
date.
June,
So I suggest that
but not the exact date.
yeah, we will gather the information and then we will do the retirement, and after that we will give you the feedback.
The active, perfect. Yeah, because sometimes it's not so relevant if you take the same month, but it's better because it should be compliance with the date of the approval. That's, if you don't know it, it's better to wait for to have it. Okay. And this you should, before proceeding with the retirement, you should have this information for all the assets that you want to retire.
That is true.
Yeah. So try to check first. I don't know if you did this in a batch or all of them were approved in the same day, but you should clarify before starting retiring the assets.
We shall verify. We can get to the notification to see the attachment, but I think that's going to take some time.
Okay. No, but you know how to. Well, very good. You know how to do that. You go to the notification. You know how to look for attachments in notifications.
Yes.
So it's perfect. So you know everything. Just if you go to the app, I don't know how to explain. To the upper part of the screen, this next to change service notification to this title, you have an arrow there. Next to the title, the change service notification, down, a little bit down. If you go down, you have an arrow. You go to change service notification to the word change. The title of this, there. Go to the left now, left, and now there is more left, and now a little bit up. You have a small arrow there. A little bit up.
This one?
No, a little bit up. Yeah, this one. You have an arrow, a black arrow on the right, just in this button, with a small arrow in. Yeah, there. This is the. Yeah, click there. And now select the line service notification. Select this line, service notification.
Service notification, yes.
Yes, you have to select the line.
Click on the line. Click on the line. No. The other side, like this, yes.
Okay.
And now the green tick at the bottom of this small window, the green tick, click there. And now select Records Management Plant Maintenance, the first option of the menu. Double click there. And a new screen will appear with all the relevant, but I think there is nothing attached yet. because can you open the screen a little bit, maximize it for me to see it a little bit better? Perfect. If you now double click on the notification number that is there, you see? Yeah, a little bit down in the hierarchy window, double click on it.
This one?
No, in the hierarchy, a little bit down. Under the hierarchy word, you have the notification number again. There, in the hierarchy. Yes, there, in this hierarchy window, you should have all the attachments that have been uploaded to the system. And I think in this case, you don't have any attachments. Yeah, there. This is the double click there. Double click there. Nothing is there. So in this case, you should find something there. But I think it's not attached. Maybe it's approved, but has not been attached yet. So if you would go back with the green arrow on the top of the screen, yeah, and go to the tasks of the notification, to the tasks tab, yeah, that's the point. And let's see if we can find out more information. Send email, extract, transfer, create, and read, notify. Attach, you see, attach, approve, minute, attach, approval is not done yet. The step of attaching the approval is not done yet, so it has not been attached. So maybe you should raise this issue or these things with who is coordinating this process in the mission, and tell them, okay, we have to retire the assets, but we need to know the official retirement date that we have to use. So this is very important. If not, you cannot do it properly, unless they will tell you, okay, take this date, and I don't know exactly how they want you to do that. But you should clarify all these things before proceeding. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
But now you know how to check the attachments, the tasks, if they have been approved or not. So it's very good. I think you are in very good condition already.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Very good students. So guys, it has been a pleasure to be with you today. And again, if you need anything, I will send you an email right now with all the documents that we used. And whatever you need, just don't hesitate and get in touch with us. Okay?
Okay. Okay. What did you say your name is again?
My name? Sol. Sol. Sol is the Spanish word for sun. So you can call me San if you want. Okay. S-O-L. Very good. S-O-L.
Okay. That's on Spanish.
So, guys.
It has been a very interesting session.
Oh, I'm happy that you did it. The important thing is that you learn. This is the important thing.
Yes, because the whole thing was so scary, but you have made it very simple.
No, it is because it is. I didn't make it simple. It is simple. Now you have to get confident, get all the information that you need ready, and start doing it. And you will see it once you do it. Once it's quick. It's quick. You don't have to panic because it will be done very quickly, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, again, my pleasure to be with you, and hopefully everything will be solved very, very soon. Okay?
Very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, bye, guys.
Muito obrigado. Gracias.
Ay, de nada, chicos, de nada.
Até qualquer tempo, até qualquer tempo.
Oh, very nice, as you can see. Yeah, very nice. Very sweet. Bye-bye, guys.
Very good job, Sol. Very well explained. Thank you.
Welcome, guys. Bye-bye.
Is this Karen?
Sorry?
Is this Karen behind? I could hear another voice.
David, she really is here. She really is here, David. You know, you're in a good hands, so I don't have to add anything. So I know I will give you the best one.
And we look forward to the document so that we'll be able to at least practice it on our own. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Very welcome, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, guys,
so now the retirement is for
yes,